Happy New Year, everyone. I'm going to share some astro weather with you for the week ahead. This is Monday, January 2nd through Sunday, January 8th. This week we're building up to a full moon. It's happening on Friday. This is the Capricorn Sun, Cancer Moon, full moon. So we have that Cancer Moon once a year. This is a time I've heard a lot of astrologers say Cancer Moon is great for reparenting yourself. So, kind of dissecting some of the stuff from childhood, maybe some of the memories or some of the wounds, and kind of just reparenting yourself around it. Like, be your own parent and kind of rewrite that story. I feel like our parents do the best they can with what they have at the time. And then they continue to grow, and maybe they realize, oh, I could have done that differently, or whatever. Parents are people too. So that's what's coming up. That's what we're building to. So in the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the moon will be in Gemini, and there is a little bit of intense, just emotional stuff. When the moon is in an air sign, which is what Gemini is, our emotional body is just a little bit more intellectualized. So we just tend to think about our feelings a little bit more. So this is a really good time to kind of prep for the full moon. We have the moon trine Pluto, we have the moon conjunct Mars, which just indicates a little bit more intense emotions, especially as that moon is building to full. The intensity just kind of naturally increases anyway. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like I said, take some time to intellectualize your emotional needs. Think about what it is that you need, what it is that makes you feel cared for, what it is that makes you feel like radically accepted and loved and nurtured just for who you are. I think that will come in handy just through the week. I think that these are important things to think about. Because if we don't stop and think about them, how will we know? And how can we communicate to other people what it is that we need if we don't even know ourselves? So take some time, use that kind of intellectual intensity in the beginning of the week to really get clear, whether you're doing that through writing, journaling, taking what's inside your head and in your heart and getting it out onto paper, or maybe you decide to use your words. Gemini is associated with siblings, relatives like aunts, uncles, cousins, sometimes grandparents, and neighbors. So people like that live in your immediate environment. So maybe talk to some of those people. Maybe call up your sibling or your cousin and get some of that stuff out. Use it to help you process what it is that you need for radical self-care and radical love for yourself. Because if you don't have that for yourself, it's really hard to, I don't think you can spread it around if it's not in here too. We do have, let's see, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the moon will be in Cancer. That Friday is the full moon. This is when the moon is in Cancer, emotions are just a little bit closer to the surface. When I first did my astrology training, the astrologer said there's more likely for like tidal waves of emotion, and that like kind of overwhelming feeling of like trying to keep your nose above water in a tumultuous sea. So I know people with strong Cancer placements in their natal charts, when they feel that turbulence or that big tidal wave of emotion coming in, they usually kind of isolate. They like pull their head and their arms inside their shell and keep themselves safe. So if you need to do any isolating with the moon in Cancer to help yourself feel cared for, then listen to that. We are more sensitive all week long, just because of the relationships between all of the planets. We do have a lot of activity with Uranus Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Uranus rules kind of unpredictable changes. It rules anything that's radical, anything that is kind of extreme or just against the grain of the norm. So just kind of be ready for the unexpected. Be ready for things. Who knows what's going to come up? Who knows what you're going to feel? We can never really know that going forward. It's a lot easier to look at things with hindsight and kind of gather information that way. So just who knows? Be open to what comes up inside of you. Be open to what comes out of you, and maybe give yourself a chance to kind of compare your notes of how you're feeling with the sensitive Cancer moon compared to how it felt when the moon was in Gemini, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when we kind of think about our emotional needs from a more intellectual standpoint and kind of just see if it checks out now that you're in the tidal pool of emotion. Let's see, Saturday and Sunday, the moon will be in Leo. And that just lends itself to a fun weekend. The moon will be waning at that point. It will be starting to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's just a good time to exert yourself with the moon in a fire sign to do something like a slow flow yoga class. That maybe there's like a slow, steady burn. It's not a fast pace. We're not distracted by all the movement and all the action, but rather we kind of have to suffer through each moment. And I say that jokingly. I don't mean that we should suffer through each moment of a yoga class, but when you're in crescent lunge for a long time, holy cow, that can feel like suffering for a moment. So do that over the weekend. Do those things to exert yourself. With Moon and Leo, I always say it's okay to get loud. It's okay to be like childlike and bang some pots and pans together, or have like a temper tantrum with yourself in your car where you scream or sing or like get your breath out in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to be sharing a video soon for the whole year, the whole 2023, what's coming up ahead. Also going to get some live yoga classes up on the Patreon page. So stay tuned if that's something you're interested in. I think I'll do one early morning, like a 6 a.m., and then one more like 6 p.m. So if you have any preferences or thoughts, let me know. And I'd love to include you or accommodate you or whatever the right words are. Happy full moon. And just have a really great week.